Good morning. It's Sunday, and we all know what day it is because almost everyone just watched the presser. And I'm not here with outrage. I'm here to talk about the fighting amongst my community and how much it is literally breaking my heart more than this virus. So I've been quite vocal about not policing each other. But what's happening now is thought policing, feelings policing. Everybody feels differently about what is happening in Melbourne. The people outside of Melbourne don't actually know what we're going through. So I ask everybody outside of Melbourne to treat all of us in Melbourne with some grace. This morning, all I did was hope that today we got some definitive answers about how we manage outbreaks in the future, because there will be outbreaks in the future. No one has ever said the word eradication, but I think it's pretty clear that eradication is no longer an option. It's not an option anywhere, really. As we've seen in New Zealand, there's more cases. I mean, my problem is that I'd like to know how we're going to manage these and still open up. We were given a roadmap. I understand that we're waiting 2 more days for results. That's fine. As I said in my last video, we're not bothered by a couple more weeks or a couple more days. The problem is that it's been 2 weeks since March, and we are now nearly in November. So this morning, I got called out for being a selfish bitch because apparently I have gone on an interstate trip, which I did before the borders were closed, and that I had a lover this year. And it made me realize how people have no idea what other people are going through. I can't actually believe that someone that I considered a friend held those things up as a reason why I shouldn't be asking questions, or I shouldn't be feeling depressed or sad or angry or uncertain. Let me just remind you guys that what you know of me is what I choose to share on social media. That is not, I share more than most people, but I'm not telling you every single thing. This is not a competition for who has had it worse. Yeah, I've had economic uncertainty. I have had no nuclear family to check in on or worry about. This is not about who has it worse. But when we start policing how other people are feeling is when shit is going to go even more pear-shaped. I was disgusted today watching the press release. I don't care that we're waiting for test results. I understand that. What I'm disgusted about is the complete passing of the buck of all these other issues that we are faced with. What the government is doing now is actually causing mental health problems. And it's not the lockdown. It's the messaging. It's the unclear narratives. It's the argy-bargy political back and forth that is dominating the airwaves, the decisions, and everything that is happening right now. Every single person is politically motivated if they're in politics. Yeah? Don't be fooled, you know? I'm not here to join either fence. There's 2 sides. There's Dictator Dan, and then there's Clap Dan on the back. Fuck that. I do not adhere to either view, actually, and neither should anyone who's standing in the middle doing some critical thinking. The fact that we still don't know is absolutely ridiculous. How are we going to manage outbreaks moving forward? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know at this point. The other funny thing is I said I'm going to riot, and everyone took that as me inciting a riot. I use figures of speech. I call people babe. I call everybody babe. Whatever gender you are, I'm going to call you babe. That's not me being condescending. I also talk about rioting all the time, by the way. I'm an old punk and I talk about rioting. It doesn't mean I'm going to join a protest. Yeah? And also, what I've been noticing lately is some newbie activists who are just getting involved in politics for the first time. And I've been giving them a lot of time to try and bring them on board. But guess what? Every political movement, every activist movement has multiple factions. There are extreme factions, and there are also mom and dad who run their business standing in the street for their reasons. I also laugh when people call the protesters selfish because they don't understand that some of those protesters represent communities that are currently not represented. Okay? I'm a single person who lives alone, and it was only 1 month ago that we were allowed to have a bubble buddy. We were not even in the conversation for the first 6 months of this shit. So we have to be really careful now. I mean, I can't believe that someone I've known for a very long time blocked me this morning for saying that I would like to know how we're going to manage these things moving forward. Hold the line and dig deep is not the conversation now. I truly feel we have. And I feel like we have a lot more that we can do as a community if we know what the goalposts are. The goalposts are not flattening the curve. They are not aggressive suppression now. They are not eradication. So what is it? How do we actually justify what is happening in our state when New South Wales is light years ahead of us with their contact tracing? I found out yesterday that DHHS in Victoria had 200 people employed to deal with this. New South Wales had 2,000. So maybe they are a bit more of a golder standard than we are because we still have not got our shit together down south. The contact tracing seems like it's great, right? They say it's great. And yet then we hear of these bungles. The messaging seems like it's great. And then we hear that the family who sent their kid to school wasn't aware of the difference between isolation and quarantine, and also that they had multiple case managers for different family members that were told different things. So what I'm wondering is, how much longer must we hold the line and dig deep for our government in Victoria to get their shit together? How are we going to manage hotel quarantines moving forward? Have we learnt from that? Are we now going to have the ADF deployed to deal with that? Or what are we actually doing? You know, I had friends say they want to go overseas today. Fuck me, I just want to visit my friends without risk of breaking a law. That's actually all I want. My friends in retail are severely scrambling. Same with everybody in hospitality. The events people of us, we've given up. That's it. It's over. I don't know what's going to rebuild, and I don't know when, and I don't know how. But COVID normal is not going to happen until we have a vaccine. And we may not have a vaccine for the foreseeable. We may find one tomorrow, and it is still going to be 2 to 4 years of testing to make sure it's safe. I was reading an article the other day how so many people in the world right now are vaccine hesitant because of shit messaging, media, and also concerns around autism, concerns around vaccines being rolled out when they haven't been tested. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not having a vaccine until I know it's safe. So the other thing I want to know is there's rapid testing happening in some places. Why are we not speaking about this in Melbourne? I understand that they're not as reliable as the tests that we've been doing, but also how can we test all these people and we're told the results are back same day, which my results were back same day earlier this week, and yet now we have to wait 48 hours. What is happening with our systems? So I guess what I'm trying to say here is everybody has different feelings about this. Some people absolutely think that the government is doing the best thing for our community health. And, you know, I wish I was one of them. But I'm not going to shout them down. I'm not going to shout them down. And I'm certainly not going to go into their threads and cause a ruckus. We need to be gentle with each other right now, people. Everyone in Melbourne needs to be really gentle with each other, please. Okay? We are being nice, we are being polite, but we are all at breaking point. We are. Meeting in the park, as we've seen, is just not the ease that it is it? When the weather's crazy, when you can only have 2 households, and when a lot of parks are packed full of people. Like at the moment, I live in Reservoir, there's room in my park, but you go a bit closer to the city, ain't no fucking room. So this is why some of us are planning on taking over the Northcote Golf Course. Like as in, planning on taking it over, friends. And that is a political movement. Taking over public space for community use is a political movement. Now, the people having the protests in the city have multiple motivations for being there. I personally listened to a bunch of speeches from the protests yesterday, and I actually agreed with everything that was said. Nobody was saying the virus isn't real on a megaphone. What they were saying is we need a nuanced conversation, a way to move forward while still living our lives as well as fighting this virus. So I'm just doing another one of these to say, please don't police each other's feelings right now. Please try not to. I mean, to have someone hold me so to task today over asking about having a plan was just scary and ridiculous, and it made me feel like that person was not okay. I got called a selfish bitch because I went across the borders before they were shut. No, I was just doing what I needed to do for my mental health, and you should too. So anyway, I don't have comments about Dan Andrews today. He really impressed me last Sunday. He's really pissed me off today. I don't have a personal opinion about the guy. All I'm doing is listening to him every day as a taxpayer and as a member of the community who would like my questions answered as well. I don't think that that is irresponsible. I don't think it's untoward. And I think that everybody in the state actually has every right to ask these questions. So I'll be waiting for 48 hours to hear what happens next. But the roadmap should still be the roadmap. And it took him an hour in the press conference today to acknowledge that we still will open up in November 1st. He said that today, but it took him an hour. So I don't actually know how much of what is happening is pressure, political pressure. I do feel like he opened the schools up due to pressure, and now we're dealing with this outbreak. This is going to keep happening. This is what I find ludicrous. This is going to keep happening. You know, we've already got people talking about allowing international arrivals, and we still haven't got an answer about what happened at a hotel quarantine. So anyway, friends, I just wanted to make a little video to remind you all not to lash out at each other and call each other fucking stupid idiots or selfish bitches, because it's really, really not helpful. My response to that today was, are you okay and are you supported? And I got called a dumb bitch. Shit is gone pear-shaped when we start policing each other. And what's happening now is the far, far left have become so terrified of this virus that they are actually becoming fascists. Now, that is a really inflammatory thing to say, but I'm saying it. Okay? We need to remember where we come from, who we are, that the government cannot really be trusted to A, do a good job with all of our interests at heart, and B, be transparent about that. Come on, everyone. We've known this our whole lives, haven't we? Or have we just lost it because we're all in this like drugged fear state at the moment? I don't know. Anyway, to all the new activists that are watching this, thank you for stepping into the conversation. But just let me warn you that it is extremely nuanced and it is not black and white. The more you know about what really goes on in the world, the more you are uncertain of. The more I know about activism, the less sure I am of where I stand on some issues. Okay? So anyway, I'm still going to give my time to the people cutting their teeth on political motivations for different things. I'm still going to spend my time reaching out to QAnoners who are spouting absolute shit. But to be honest, there's not that many of them anymore. I just see, not in my feed anyway, I just see a lot of concerned individuals actually who have lost everything and who are now mentally struggling, emotionally struggling with the constant backpedaling that we're seeing. So sure, I'll give them 48 hours. Go get your test results, mateys. Go do your tracing, mateys. You better do it. And then you better tell us what the fuck happens next. Because we still don't know if we can see people in regional Victoria for Christmas even. We still don't know when we can go to a shop. We still don't know when we can go to our friend's house and sit in their backyard and visit them. These are the things that I'm upset about. These are the things I'm going to keep questioning. And if anyone wants to shout me down for asking these questions, please just remove yourself from my network. I'm not interested. I'm really not interested. I wish you all love. It's a weirdly sunny, windy day. And yeah, I don't actually know what else to do with my day apart from try and have some great conversations online and on the phone with people who both agree and don't agree with me. That's how we get somewhere together as a society. We have debates, healthy, friendly debates. All right. Love you all. Stay tuned. See what happens next. All right. Ciao.